Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something kind of scary in the world of crypto trading, a sneaky threat that can drain your wallet without you even noticing. It's called a sandwich attack. Welcome back to CodeAccessHub. You know the drill here. We take really complex tech stuff and make it super simple and easy to understand. That's our whole goal. So let's just jump right into it.
All right, so here's what we've got on the menu for today. First, we'll break down what a sandwich attack even is. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how they work. We'll look at some real-world damage, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself. And we'll wrap up by seeing how the whole ecosystem is starting to push back.
Okay, let's kick things off. What in the world is a sandwich attack? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a hidden cost or even a hidden tax that gets slapped onto your crypto trades. It's a sneaky kind of market manipulation that happens literally right under your nose. So if we get just a little technical for a second, it's a type of price manipulation that happens on decentralized exchanges, DEXs. What happens is an attacker sees your trade waiting to happen, and they super quickly place two of their own trades, one right before yours and one right after. And just by doing that, they can create a tiny price swing and skim a profit for themselves. And that's exactly where the name sandwich attack comes from, right? The attacker's two trades are the slices of bread, and your trade, well, you're the filling, squeezed right in the middle. It's a pretty perfect analogy for what's going on, and man, is it effective. Okay, so now that we know what it is, let's dig into the how. Understanding the step-by-step mechanics is absolutely crucial if you want to avoid it. So, how does someone actually get sandwiched?
It all goes down in 3 quick steps. First is what we call the front run. See, when you make a trade, it doesn't happen instantly. It sits in this public waiting room called the Mempool. And here's the crazy part. The transparency that's supposed to be a good thing in crypto is what lets an attacker's bot see your pending trade. The bot then jumps the queue by placing its own buy order for the same asset but with a higher fee so it gets processed first. That pushes the price up. Step 2. Your trade finally executes, but now you're paying that higher inflated price, which means you get less of the token you wanted. And then comes step 3, the back run. The attacker's bot immediately sells the asset it just bought, locking in a profit from that price difference they manufactured, all at your expense.
And let's look at what this actually means for your wallet. It can be pretty brutal. Let's say you're trying to swap 1 ETH for 2,000 of some token, but because you got sandwiched, that same 1 ETH now only gets you, say, 1,950 tokens. Poof! You just lost the value of 50 tokens, and that money went straight into the attacker's pocket.
So you might be wondering, how would I even know if this happened to me? Well, there are a few red flags to watch out for. The biggest one is just that your trade went through at a way worse price than you expected. You can even look at the price chart. You might see this really sharp, quick spike just before your trade, and then an immediate drop right after it was done. And just keep in mind, these attacks are super common on DEXs that use what's called an automated market maker, or AMM, like Uniswap or PancakeSwap.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like I might lose a few cents, maybe a couple of bucks, no big deal, right? Wrong. The scale of these attacks is absolutely staggering. We are not talking about crumbs here.
And this isn't just theory, this is real life. Check this out. One single user lost over $200,000 in one swap on Uniswap, all because of a sandwich attack. It just goes to show you, when you're talking about large trades, the losses can be just devastating. And this is happening all over the place. Remember the Pepe meme coin craze? One attacker raked in over $1.4 million in profit just by sandwiching traders. Another token, 4.meme, got drained for about 120 grand. It got so bad on the BNB chain that at one point more than 35%, that's over a third, of all transactions were getting hit by these attacks. Insane. So who's getting rich off this? Where does all that money go? Well, it's usually split 2 ways. Most of it, like 70%, goes to the MEV bot operator. That's the person or team running the software that sniffs out these opportunities. But here's the really messed up part. A big chunk, maybe 30%, goes to the validator or the block builder. It's basically a bribe to make sure their attack transactions get placed perfectly around yours. It creates this really toxic incentive structure deep inside the network.
All right, enough doom and gloom about the problem. Let's shift gears and talk about solutions. This is probably the most important part of this whole thing. What can you actually do to protect yourself? How do you avoid getting eaten?
Okay, here are some essential strategies. First up, and this is a big one, set a really low slippage tolerance. Keep it under 1% if you can. What this does is, if the price moves too much before your trade executes, the trade just fails. That makes the whole attack unprofitable for the bot. Another great tip, stick to trading in really large liquidity pools. It's just way more expensive and harder for an attacker to move the price in a giant pool. You can also try paying a little extra in gas fees to get your transaction confirmed faster, giving bots less time to react. Or, try trading when the network is quieter, like during off-peak hours.
Now, if you want to level up your defense, there are some more advanced tools you can use. There are services like Flashbots Protect or MEV Blocker. What these do is they basically shield your transaction from that public mempool we talked about. They send it to a private channel so the bots can't see it. Private RPC networks do something similar. They let you send your transaction directly to validators, again, skipping that public waiting area where the bots are hunting. Now, you might also see some Telegram trading bots that claim to protect you, but you got to be so careful with those. They often want your private keys, and that is a massive, massive security risk, so tread very carefully there.
The good news is, this isn't just a problem that individual users are left to deal with on their own. The whole DeFi ecosystem is waking up to how serious this is, and we're starting to see some big players take a really firm stand against this stuff.
And a perfect example of this is what the Solana Foundation is doing. This is huge. They've actually started kicking validator operators out of their official delegation program if they get caught helping with sandwich attacks. For validator, getting that delegation is a huge source of revenue, so getting kicked out, that's a serious financial penalty. It hits them where it hurts.
And they're not messing around. Their stance is super clear. They've basically said, we're doing this to protect regular users, our decision is final, and we're on the lookout for more people to kick out. I mean, that sends a powerful message that this kind of behavior just isn't going to fly on their network.
So all of this kind of brings us back to a really fundamental question about crypto, right? We love the transparency of the blockchain. It's one of its superpowers, the fact that everything is out in the open. But does that very same openness make this kind of predatory stuff inevitable? Is it a bug or a feature? It's a massive debate in the community right now, trying to find that balance between total transparency and protecting users. Definitely something to chew on.
And that about wraps it up for this deep dive. If you want to learn more and see more explainers just like this one, you can find everything over on our YouTube channel, CodeAccessHub.
Hey, and if you got some value out of this, it would mean the world to us if you'd share it, give it a like, and of course, subscribe. Oh, and definitely hit that little notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.